Well, good evening, everyone. It is now day 22 of the California lockdown, shelter in place slash let's keep everybody in a box routine. Well, what's new today? Well, a lot more accidents on the road because people are driving like idiots, but I mentioned that yesterday. People still going to work, still doing their normal routine. A couple different changes. California's under thing saying, "No, you should wear a mask when you go outside. Mask up, everybody." Blah 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 blah. It's all well and good if you feel like doing it. I don't see a whole lot of people doing it. I see some. Depends on what store you go into. Sometimes you'll see a whole lot of people with them. Sometimes you won't see any. But I've made my opinion clear on it. I think there's something. This not what they're saying. There's more going on. But first off, I can't recall if I mentioned last night that I saw a news article, news conference from the LA mayor. Promoting people to snitch out businesses that are open when they're supposed to be closed through the shelter in place. Now, bear in mind, he's talking about your barber shops, probably your bars, your restaurants, your tattoo parlors, whatever. But he's telling everybody, we've all heard of that snitches get stitches, but with us, snitches get rewarded. So what does that mean? You get moved to the head of the line of the food line to get in the grocery store? Or you get given the keys to the city? Those folks that are, as you call it, sneakily staying, breaking quarantine to open their businesses, one, are trying to make a buck. Two, they're trying to hang on to their livelihood because most of them operate off a shoestring. And they're being closed down by government order. I don't see the government stepping up to help them keep their business. Oh, there's a lot of happy talk that they're going to, but is it going to be in time to help these people reopen? If you know anything about the government, it won't be. Oh, so sorry. We were doing it for your own protection. Protection, my ass. And then I just caught another news story of the Riverside sheriff saying that by the governor's order, if he wanted to, he could put people in jail for not wearing their masks. So he can turn around if the mood suits him and arrest somebody for not wearing a mask while they're driving in their own car by themselves. If they're not wearing a mask, if they're out getting their newspaper in the front yard. And people don't see anything wrong with this. When did the police get the right to do anything they want to do? The only time that happens is when there's martial law declared. I don't recall that declaration being made. I do see a whole lot of tin pot dictators starting to raise their little heads. It's my power. I can use it as I wish. Kind of like when they went after that paddle boarder. Took 2 ships and 8 deputies to arrest this guy that was out in the Pacific Ocean by himself. Relaxing, doing a paddleboard just offshore. But because he broke quarantine, he got arrested. Probably got arrested for resisting arrest since he didn't come in when they first told him to. I just don't understand. The state must be populated by sheep. Because that's all I see. You look to the left, you look to the right. All you see is sheep. Oh, the people say the government says we need to do this, so we'll do this way. This way. Oh, I'm so scared. Big brother, help me. 30s and 40s were called the greatest generation for a reason. The country just got out of depression. The American people dug in their heels and built themselves back up, one step at a time. The generation nowadays could be called the sheeple, because they're weak as goddamn little pussycats. This generation seems to think whatever the politicians say goes. That's right. That's what we're supposed to be. Yes, we should follow what Big Brother says. I don't think so. They've been coming after the Second Amendment for a long time. A lot of the people out here think, oh, there's no big deal with that. It's just guns. Well, the next thing they're going to go after is the right to assembly and have free speech. Oh, wait, they've already done that. They've put a shelter in place where you can't get together and talk, not voice differing opinions or compare notes, unless you're doing it over the internet, which is censored or monitored, whatever you want to call it. Is this virus a bad thing? In a way, yes. I think it's being blown way out of proportion. I think I read in my county, which has multiple millions of people living in it, I believe we have 151 confirmed cases of this virus. We have 7 deaths. That's less than the drunk driving deaths in one weekend out here in the Bay Area. But we're all jumping up and down about it. If it was as bad as they say it is, as dangerous as they say it is, would they be having as many people as they have out working every day? Why is that? So they can make the business tax revenue? Damn sure ain't to stock the grocery shelves since they're always fucking bare. I mean, I went into Safeway again tonight. Most of the soups are gone. Most of the macaroni's gone. Eggs are gone. Milk's almost gone. It's either these stores are cutting back on what they're ordering, or people are wiping them out as soon as they get it. And it's not just Safeway, it's other stores too. So y'all need to ask yourself, what is exactly the end game? Who stands to gain from any of this crap? Follow the bunny trail. Now, if people are going to tell me that all these stores had these scenarios in mind to have these plastic shields and everything all set up for all their stores, whether it be Walgreens, Walmart, Target, Safeway, any of those, where they could roll out this plan within 2 weeks nationwide, I don't think so. Not unless they had advance warning it was all coming. I don't know. I could be just paranoid. But even a guy that's paranoid is always right at least half the time. Which half is right this time? All this keeping everybody in their homes is going to do is create bigger problems. I'm willing to bet that when this thing's lifted, you're going to find the domestic violence cases are up 50%. Divorce cases will probably be up 60 or 70%. And birth rate's probably going to be up at 90%. So, I don't know. A whole lot of questions need to be answered, but now's not the time to be asking them. Politicians are all trying to put the blame someplace. Shut up about the blame game. Let's get on with solving the problem, then we can fix the blame. Let's get America back to work. Let's reach down to our friggin' bootstraps, pull those raggedy old boots back up, and get back to work. That's what this country needs. You want to burn out a virus? Work harder. On my next door app, people are all upset because their Starbucks is closed for an indefinite period of time. They ask him, why is it closed? Well, one of the replies is a family member, one of the workers, had the Wahoo virus. So since he's been around that person, everybody in that store had to be self-quarantined. The store had to close because of the fact they didn't have people put in there to work it. But again, the same question that I asked the other night. They say they're low on test kits. So how are they testing these? Okay, person's diagnosed with coronavirus. Was he tested once, twice, or 3 times? Generally takes a third test to make sure. Because you can have a false positive, false negative, and then maybe pop another positive. If you did, well, then guess what? You got it. Or we're going to err on the side of caution. All right, say it pops negative. You release him. 2 weeks later, he's really showing the signs and has infected 100 other people. How do you make the judgment call there? I don't know. press needs to quit throwing numbers at us that people don't understand. The press needs to quit playing the China game that they're so innocent. If they're so innocent, why did this start in September and they didn't tell anybody till December? Is that a sign of innocence? Not to me. Granted, they could have been trying to solve it in-house. But they could have warned the world, hey, we got something brewing here. Oh, by the way, we sent 450,000 of your people back to you. Oh, they may be infected. You know? There's a lot of games being played and we're being used as a patsy. I don't like it. Neither should you. But before you start cheering of the fact that they're enforcing this mask law and arresting people for this, that, and the other, ask yourself, what's the next thing they're going to do? And when are you going to start cheering and start thinking? Is it when they knock on your door and say, oh, we need to inspect your house to make sure you don't have coronavirus? Oh, by the way, what weapons do you have in the house? Oh, by the way, we're taking those too. Oh, we saw that YouTube video you made. You're under arrest for hate speech. All I'm asking people is y'all wake up, get off whatever drugs you're on, start using your brain to think. So I'm finding out in my old age, there's a lot more people that think the way I do than I thought. I consider myself a patriot. I love the hell out of this country and the opportunities it offers. And I'll be damned if I'm going to see some politician flush it down the tubes just for their own sake of satisfaction. Not if I have anything to say about it. As long as I got this platform, I can say what I want. And I will. And if I lose this one, I'll go to a different one. But we all need to start waking up. I think the world's had enough of people being politically correct and being sheep. Let's try and take the wolf out of the sheep's clothing and bare our teeth once in a while. But for now, this is day 22 of the lockdown. To anybody watching this, my followers, or anybody else that's watching, if you get a complaint, tell me about it. You want to make a comment, put it below. Got a subject you'd like me to speak of? Send it to me by email, redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. I would like everybody to remember our service people overseas. They're standing on the wall for us so we can deal with the bullshit here. Remember the vets coming home, the ones that are already here. Give them a hand up, not a handout. And for God's sakes, remember our truck drivers, our farmers, our grocery clerks, the guy patching your tire, the tow truck drivers, or the millions of other unseen people that are essential to every city running, including the fire, police, EMT, and the hospital staffs. Give them all a prayer, a thought, whatever. They're going to need it. For now, this is the old redneck, wishing everybody a good night, good health. Remember your humanity. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly ones. We'll talk tomorrow. Good night, all.